Hi guys and girls, and welcome back to the channel. We're continuing our Player Homes of Skyrim series with Vlindrel Hall in Markarth. Now Markarth, also known as Markarth Side, is one of the major cities in Skyrim. It is known for its rich silver mines, which are mostly owned by the influential Silverbloods family. The cutthroat intrigue surrounding Markarth's silver producing industry popularised the local saying, "Blood and silver are what flows through Markarth." The city is located in the far west of Skyrim, in the mountains of the Reach, west of the Karth River. As a result, the city has a good natural defence, even from the skies. Being a long distance from any other major city, and with both main roads cutting through the mountains, valleys and rugged terrain, venturing to and from Markarth is one of the most treacherous trips for travellers. The city is split by a large running river and comprises two parts. Riverside, where the native Reachmen and the working district are found, and the dry side, housing all the houses of Nord nobles and Silverblood ownership. The Jarl's Palace, Understone Keep, is located at the top of the city and contains the Hall of the Dead, the Dwemer Museum and the Newcommand Zell excavation, I think I got that right, where the internal part of the old Dwemer city remains in ruins. Most of the city's residents tend to be quite unfriendly towards outsiders. The city itself is housed in an ancient Dwemer city, giving its architecture noticeably different from most cities in Skyrim. Much of the city is carved into the rock face which surrounds it. Jarl Igmund is the ruler of the Reach. He's having issues with a group known as the Forsworn. Though there are many races populating the city, the people of Markarth are not fond of outsiders, as mentioned before, and the guards treat them with hostility and suspicion. Half the city is owned by the Silverblood family. The Silverbloods also own Sidna Mine, which is actually inside the city walls and used as a prison, said to be the most secure prison in Skyrim, and there's a good quest with that. There is an area dug into the cliff wall called the Warrens, where most of the poor of Markarth live in extreme poverty. Many of the workers in the Warrens work in the mines and at the smelters in the area. The guards are quartered in the Dwemer dormitory, carved out of stone beneath the imposing guard tower at the centre of the city. The Silverblood Inn near the entrance to the city is a good place for brawling, picking up bounty letters, hiring a follower or renting a room. There are several shops in an open-air marketplace nearby. Markarth also houses Understone Keep, an ancient Dwemer castle carved deep into the mountain, which can be accessed by walking through the guarded door at the top of the main path through the town. The surrounding area is rich in minerals and ores, but be careful out there because Forsworn are about. They infest the surrounding countryside and will attack on sight, and they can prove quite a handful, especially if you're still at a lower level. Markarth has a long history, but what's particularly poignant today is the Forsworn. In 4E174, Markarth and the Reach as a whole were subjected to what is known today as the Forsworn Uprising. Now, while the Empire was beset by the Third Ulmri Dominion in the Great War, the native people of the Reach, called the Reachmen, took this opportunity to seize control of the city. This was only possible as the Imperial Legionnaires stationed in Markarth were recalled to fight, leaving the city highly vulnerable. Jarl Igmund's father, Hrolfdir, was Jarl at the time, but could not quell the uprising and was driven out of the city. The rebellion was successful, and the Reachmen ruled over Markarth and the Reach as an independent kingdom from Skyrim from 4E174 to 4E176. According to one imperial source, the kingdom was relatively peaceful during this time. The Reachmen allegedly ruled their lands fairly and even made overtures to be recognised by the Empire as a legitimate kingdom. Others claimed that it was a chaotic uprising and that Markarth's nobles grew desperate when the Reachmen refused their offers of peace. The current civil war is said to have started in Markarth due to what's known as the Markarth Incident. Now, desperate to reclaim the Reach, Hrolfdir and his family enlisted the aid of Ulfric Stormcloak and his militia, promising them free worship of Talos in exchange for their assistance. Ulfric accepted, and his troops reconquered Markarth from the Reachmen soon after. The returning legion coming back to restore order in Skyrim after the Great War was refuse entry into Markarth until they granted free Talos worship. The Empire accepted this. However, agents of the Aldmeri Dominion discovered the Empire was violating the terms of the White Gold Concordat and demanded the arrest of Ulfric and his men. The disillusionment of Ulfric and his men over what became known as mentioned before, the Markarth incident, will prove to become one of the direct causes of the Skyrim Civil War. In the aftermath of the Markarth incident, the Reachmen took on the name of the Forsworn and fled to the Highlands to continue their insurrection against the Nord nobles' control of the Reach. Okay, enough of the history. Let's take a look at Vlindrel Hall. Like all the homes in Markarth, Vlindrel Hall is built in the Dwemer architectural style with a large golden door leading into the cliffside. This house is the highest of all the homes in Markarth and offers a wonderful view of the Dwemer buildings, waterfalls and surrounding mountains of the Reach. The Understone Keep is a short trip away, accessible along the upper walkway. The base price of the house is 8,000 gold and fully decorated is 12,200. So once inside, we go for quite an impressive hallway with planters on the right and left hand side for various ingredients. It's actually remarkably detailed and very attractive home, this actually, very nice. Anyway, moving up onto the main dining room. This is a sizable room, very detailed, and it's obviously the largest room in the building. It's got large dining tables, several smaller tables, 3 bookshelves, which is good for people who like to collect books, a display case and other bits and bobs. As you can see, it is bright and there's loads and loads of storage here. This is a good room, actually, very good room. I do like the way the light works. Now this is quite a dark home, to be honest with you, but I kind of like it. It's quite good for video work here, actually. You get quite a good feel of it. So moving on into the alchemy room. This is actually a really nice room with storage very close to the table, so it's really handy to get your ingredients in a big bunch and do your make your potions, blah blah blah. Really good. So with this you've got an alchemy table, the apothecary satchel, which is quite handy, hanging ingredients, and several shelves, and you've got plenty of potions and herbs there. This can be converted into a children's bedroom if you wish, which to me is it's not a good thing. For a house of this size and price, you should be able to get a separate child's bedroom for sure. And here we come into the enchanting room. Again, a lovely room. Includes obviously the enchanting table, shelves, a mannequin, 2 weapon plaques, 2 shield plaques and 4 weapon racks, which is quite handy. Now the one thing is there's only 1 mannequin here, which again for a house this size and price you would expect more. Again, like the rest of it, this is a lovely room. It's really well done by Bethesda. It's a shame there aren't more mannequins and a separate child's room though. It's a major flaw. But if you do want a child's room, I suppose you could use the alchemy table in the Hag's Cure and the Hall of the Dead. It's not ideal to be fair, but it's doable. So moving on towards the kitchen. Now this is off the main living area. And the house is actually very well laid out actually. It's everything's very quickly accessible, which isn't always the case in a lot of these properties. There we go, down the end we've got the fire where we can cook everything, large table, display cases, cabinets. And just off the kitchen are the 2 bedrooms. That's the main bedroom there. But first of all, we'll look at this room, which is the Thane's room. It's your standard Thane's room, fairly functional. Can't really use for much, maybe a little bit of extra storage, but hey, you don't need that in a place like this. There's plenty of storage elsewhere. It's a shame we can't use this if you don't want a Thane. Nice room though, one of the better Thane's rooms. Those guys don't live in luxury at all. So anyway, moving on. Straight across the kitchen area. Now we come to the main bedroom. Now this has got quite a lot to it actually. It's got a large bed, a chest, shield plaque, shelves, display cases, and other bits and bobs. It's not a huge room, but to be fair, you don't need a massive bedroom. A bit cramped with all the beds and cupboards, but we're not actually physically living there, so it's fine. And you're right outside the kitchen as well for any other storage areas you need. Yeah, I like it. I love the detail in this property. It's one of my favourites. So let's look at the advantages and disadvantages of this property. Vlindrel Hall is a luxurious home with, you can put some nice expansions in it. You can get your alchemy lab in Arcane Enchanter. Endon the Thieves Guild fences located nearby. It's a good place for book collectors because you've got 3 large bookshelves. It's got quite a lot of weapon plaques, several planters round for things like jazzboy grapes, which is quite good. The views outside of Skyrim and the Dwemer architecture is actually fantastic. It's not cluttered, it's very, very well laid out. So, if you're a bit clumsy, you're not likely to keep on knocking over your items, have to keep on putting them back or leave them all around. It's very close to several merchants. Disadvantages: there's no smithing here, which for a house of this size and cost, I really would have expected to have something like that. The nearest smithing stuff is located right across town. It only has 1 exit, so if you're an assassin or a thief, discreet getaways could be difficult. The changing the alchemy room to a children's room leaves you the options of only having the alchemy table in the Hall of Dead or the Housecarl, which is a lot of travelling. It's like cutscenes and whatever. Now, it's interesting, male adopted children don't like living in Markarth and will complain about it. The lighting is a bit dark. Now, I love it for that, but some people don't. And it only has 1 mannequin, which is really, really poor. So, they're the disadvantages. Now, on a personal level, I absolutely love this house. I really do. I'm not a fan of Markarth itself. I don't particularly like it. However, I do like this home, but for me, I have it right. I travel to it when I'm solo, but for my role playing, I like to have the family, the steward, the carriage, and stuff like that. So it's always going to be half-five for me. But as a player, if you just have a follower and not interested in the family thing, this is a great home. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you found it interesting, and if you did, leave a like and leave a comment, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next video.